Casos y 334 fallecidos desde el viernes. El número total desde que comenzó la...
اطلع من المستشفى.
بدك تطلع من المستشفى؟ وايش بدك طيب كمان؟ ايش بدك اجيب لك؟
عروسة.
وايش كمان؟
Pues aquí estamos en el aeropuerto de Dubái, acabo de llegar, se supone que todo iba bien, que volaba esta tarde a Tel Aviv para dar un masterclass y operar en Jerusalén, en Gaza, pero todo se ha torcido y parece ser que hace falta una carta de invitación. Viendo a la puerta de embarque, lo conseguimos a última hora, me dejan embarcar, me dejan volar a Tel Aviv. Al final podremos hacer el masterclass y lo veréis en el documental que vamos a hacer. Ha sido duro, se ha conseguido hablar con el ministro a última hora.
The way to Gaza was never easy, as if Gaza is an isolated country, far away from the rest of the planet. 18th December 2020 at Dubai International Airport. Time was slow. The most you could do is wait. Only wait. After a few hours, time seems to speed up. You are a few minutes away from the plane's takeoff.
Hey, we can do this? Oh my God, unbelievable.
Welcome, brother.
How are you?
At a certain moment, you wonder to yourself how many countries in the world ask you for a special permit to be able to visit. But before you find the answer and think about going back, you get the permit in the last 2 minutes. And suddenly, you find yourself at the gate of the plane. These 2 minutes were able to recreate the story and write a different ending.
When Diego contacted me, that he saw me many times going to Gaza and posting some posts and pictures in the social media about that. He said, Firas, I really want to come to Gaza. Is it possible? It's more like mission impossible because of the pandemic and because of the timing, and it may cause you some troubles as a surgeon and as a foreigner. So maybe we delay it for later. So I really didn't know what to tell him at that moment. So I thought he was kidding. Then he contacted me again. He said, Firas, I have the donations, I have the company will sponsor, everything is okay, so let's go to Gaza.
Okay, Firas, so we arrived at checkpoint.
We arrived.
And we have to leave the car here.
Yes.
And take all the stuff.
Everything.
We cannot cross.
And cross by foot.
We have all the equipment, the staplers,
Yes, everything.
double lumen tube, everything. Crazy.
Drugs, yeah.
Okay,
We go.
we are carrying all the material.
Yeah. Our instruments to do the surgeries.
Yes, we have to carry ourselves.
Yes. Perfect.
Everything looks okay. We'll see. This is just the beginning. Yeah, nobody in the border. Look. Nobody in the border. We have 3 checkpoints today. Palestinian, Israeli, and Hamas.
Now we are entering the Israeli checkpoint. We already passed it. We go to the Palestinian side
Let's go.
through this tunnel.
Everything looks okay after 1 hour waiting.
Yes.
Okay, we have rejected the VIP service with the ambulance, so we go with this. Yeah, it's better.
Come on, come on. Let's go for the ride.
Inshallah.
Gaza, 19th of December 2020. Cry of pain caused by injustice. Just like how 2 million Palestinians are living in a besieged city since 2008 in an area no more than 360 square kilometers. You try to imagine life after 3 wars. Concrete blocks on the edges of what once used to be the most beautiful streets. Piles of rubble, destruction, and demolished houses. Thousands of displaced families who were left homeless. Thousands of civilian casualties and thousands of injured people. And you wonder how many injured people are living with shrapnel in their body. After the bombarding of the power plant in 2006, every Palestinian in Gaza spends more than half of his day with no electricity. To what extent can the Gaza archive absorb more destruction, pain, and death? But, you know what? Gaza remains strong, and the hands of its kind people are always extended to help. Even at the time when everything remains closed due to the pandemic and lockdown restrictions, the only available way to fight the virus in this city. People of Gaza welcomed us most beautifully.
يعطيكم ألف عافية شباب.
Goodbye. I like to help people. I like to teach what I know. I like to share the knowledge. I like to go to other places to, to meet other cultures, to learn from them, explore the world, especially teach surgery and help patients in the places where they need, in the poorest places. This is where I feel more, more happy when I'm going there. Thanks to our visit, we can improve a little bit the quality of life of the patient, and this is the most, the biggest satisfaction I can have from my trips.
People of Gaza welcomed us most beautifully and opened a hotel at our service.
ليش؟ خلاص؟
هذه المشن هيك هذه هيك ويتي يعني حبيبنا خلاص يعطيك العافيه الحمد لله على السلامه bienvenido
Gracias, hablo español.
un poquito.
then we had several surgeries. It was also very difficult to organize these surgeries because the surgeon in Gaza, Dr. Al-Arini, he prepared 10 cases for our visit, and 5 of them were positive for COVID, just one day before the surgery. So you can see that the huge impact of this disease on the world, especially on poor countries and poor cities, city under siege. Nobody can go in, nobody can go out.
The hospital, the nurse, get them. That sheet.
2010, I developed the surgical technique, which is called uniportal baths. That means we operate the lung through a single and a small incision. This operation became more and more popular because I was traveling around the world to teach this technique to many countries during the last years. My life was in airports, planes, and hospitals all over the world. Thanks to this effort, nowadays it is one of the most popular techniques in the world, and thousands of surgeons are using and adopting these uniportal baths because it's the less invasive to operate the lung and the chest by using just a single small 3 centimeter incision. So the recovery of the patient is quicker, less pain, and less rate of complications after surgery.
Very good. Montage.
Thoracic surgery can be divided to 2 types, the traditional and the modern thoracic surgery. And the modern one is expensive. You cannot perform new techniques of thoracic surgery like robotic or thoracoscopy without having the expensive materials to do that. So that's why many hospitals cannot adopt that because of the financial situation.
Give it to me. Give me one. Give me the...
Time in Gaza passed quickly, but during that short time, we could live the Gaza life with some of its mysteries and difficulties. And what could be more disturbing than electricity cut off while performing surgery? Or you are facing a struggle between you and yourself whether to stop the surgery and run to save another patient's life who was just shot in the chest.
We are going to do an emergency. Gunshot. Patient received a shot, so we're going to do an emergency sedation and unstable. So we have to be quick. Right? Yeah. This. I took this out. Okay. Help me. Gloves.
With that, you have lived part of the suffering of years of power cuts in all over the Gaza Strip for many hours of the day, learned other kinds of unnecessary additional stress in our job.
I'm really impressed by Gaza.
What's your first impression about the
Well,
visit?
it's impressed to see the most populated place on the earth empty, completely. Streets empty.
Because of the COVID.
Because of the corona. People is very kind. I like. It's different feeling.
In Gaza, now the electricity is 8 hours on and 8 hours off. 2 years ago when we were here, the electricity was 4 hours per day only. And after that, the electricity is off and people bought generators to produce electricity for their houses. Some of them generators, some of them solar system, which is extremely expensive. So imagine to live your life with 4 hours of electricity per day.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is difficult. صباح الخير. Several times to Gaza, I think more than 10 times. We have done many surgeries here, and step by step, Rad started to learn very fast the single port technique, and he started to apply it on his patients. So Diego, now we are heading to Jerusalem again.
Yes.
We have to go to border, but one thing is missing now.
Very important.
Yeah, very important. We need the result of PCR, of COVID test.
Yes, I did
I
did a PCR yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit nervous about the result because we need the PCR to go back to
Yeah, if the
Jerusalem.
result is positive, you stay here 14
my
days.
God. If the result is positive, I will stay here 14 days. That means that is dramatic for me because we are in Christmas.
Yeah.
In 2 days, I have to be with my family for Christmas dinner.
Okay.
So please, inshallah.
We hope it's
I
negative.
hope it will be negative.
Thank you.
So we are gonna check.
Diego, so our test is negative now?
Alhamdulillah.
But you feel sad. Goodbye, Gaza.
Bye, Gaza.
See you in Jerusalem.
And you experienced yourself the feeling of long waiting times at the borders, crossing on the way out of Gaza.
Firas going back to Jerusalem.
Yes,
Finally
finally.
we did it. It was a very hard day.
Finally.
One of the most hardest days ever.
Hey, Fonzie.
5 hours on the borders? How long we stay?
We stayed 4 hours in the border.
4 hours.
4 hours. Alone. Nobody.
No water.
Nothing.
Crazy. In Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Traffic jam.
Traffic jam in the entrance of Jerusalem. We are very tired.
Jerusalem, 21st of December 2020. The moment you smell the air of Jerusalem, your heart starts beating faster.
Yeah, during the day it's more amazing.
You leave a space for your eyes to enjoy the beauty of 1,000 years of history.
Well, this conference is not the first conference that I organize, but this one is very special because it's in my hospital, in my operation room, and in this conference we invited the chiefs of departments in Israel who are skilled surgeons in Israel, and some of them don't know a lot about this uniportal technique. So this makes them curious to know more about this technique. So they found it a very good opportunity that we have the most important surgeon in the world, Diego Gonzalez, in Al Maqasid Hospital. And in addition, I was with him. I'm one of his students, and we were both operating in separate rooms. So we could give a lot of teaching for these surgeons about our technique.
Perfect. So, because it's like curves, and we try to use just this one concept. And move the line to another. Now everything looks easy. No, surgery is not just an act. It's not like a manual thing. It's more. When you are a surgeon, you have to be a person, psychologist. You need to talk with the patient. You need to explain him what is going to happen, and you need to give him confidence that everything is going to go well. Operate the lung is not like, a small surgery. It's always a big surgery. So you need to give the confidence to them, and the best way is to talk to the patient before the operation, the day before, explaining everything, and be kind with them. Be kind with them. Not like a doctor. You should be like a friend.
Okay. You have both sides, right?
They said I have both sides, but they said that you are going to take only the right one because the left one is negligible or so small. But it's your decision.
Go with the camera and take the right one.
Yeah.
Other option is go from here.
It's more which is easier for me.
Let me think about it. I need to see the PET CT, then I decide. I think a surgeon in his life, he passes phases. In the first phase of his life, he is hungry to learn. All the time he wants to learn. And at some point, he's changing from a hunger to learn to hunger to do, to perform surgeries, to improve your technique and improve your skills. And the next phase is hunger to teach. Like after you are satisfied of your level, you started to think that your message is not completed without teaching the next generation. Because if anything happened to you, if you die, all the things that you learned will die with you.
Keep like this. Then we use this.
I don't care when a hospital is old. If it works well, it's fine. Sometimes you go to a very fancy and new hospitals and they're empty and they have no equipment, they have no people well prepared. I never look when I go to a hospital about how fancy it is and how modern. I never see this. I never value this. What I value is the work of the people. If they can do everything, if they can work in an all OR, but they have equipment for the operation, and they have a good post-operative care, and they have a good ICU, and they have a good nurse station, everything is fine. Even though it's very old, but if the quality of the treatment is good, it's fine.
Yes, I have so many memories from the patients about successful surgeries and also about bad outcomes. I remember we had, since 3 years, we have done like 700 cases. There were some 3 or 4 cases who died. And for a surgeon to lose a patient, it's a big trauma. You know, it makes you nervous, makes you restless for weeks or maybe months. So I remember all the patients that I lost.
The visit to Jerusalem was short, but who knows? Maybe the ancient city will call you back one day. I am sure at that time you will answer the call, and if you ask yourself why, you will hear the answer in each heartbeat.
So, what do you think about this journey? Finally, we are...
We completed the masterclass in Jerusalem, the weekend in Gaza. I think it was amazing. I'm really glad everything worked well. All the cases did very well. And now it's time to go back.
Some difficulties, but everything was perfect.
Especially leaving Gaza was hard, very difficult. But finally we did. Now it's time to go to the airport and fly back to Europe.
Okay, perfect. So let's go to the airport.
Yes, let's go. Bye-bye, goodbye Jerusalem, see you next time.
At a particular moment, you can lose everything: family, future, dreams. But justice still exists in the souls of people, and grudge is inevitable.
I was referred to by my family doctor to Dr. Firas Abu Akar, who in turn told me that the basic procedure for thymoma that a lot of hospitals do adopt is to make an open, what might look like an open heart surgery, which is a very invasive procedure. And they came up with this new technique that was founded by Dr. Diego Gonzalez. It's psychological effect of having the doctor visit the patient. It's the first time I go into surgery in my life. And by the doctor coming and telling me that the procedure should be easy and it should be a successful operation, it made it very, very easier for me psychologically to go under the operation procedure.
In a fateful 2 minutes at the Dubai airport, Diego and Firas changed the course of this story. And they were able to give hope for some people, to live a better life with their families, with less pain and less suffering.
الحمد لله صرت أحسن صار عندي التنفس أحسن إن شاء الله خير.
But their journey has ended, and the situation in Gaza is still sad. People are still waiting for relief at that part of the world.